Life's the battlefield and we ain't feeling weak. From love to the game and the power we seek. Our voice is strong, breaking every peak. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. Guys Night Podcast, let's ride the wave. Politics and prayers, ain't no subject we shun. Keep it real, keep it raw till the battle's won. Fitness, tricks to faith, every topic under the sun. With honor and valor, every man's battle begun. Warriors with word swords through the air. Every point sharp and
I'm just so astonished by the setup.
Awesome.
Yeah, like this is like, so one thing, a big thing that we're trying to do here in 2026, which we probably won't do it, at least in our facility, we'll probably outsource it, is like TikTok live selling, because that is like the future of, like, it's QVC on steroids. It's just people like in TikTok are pushing accounts like crazy that go live, and it's kind of like free advertising. I mean, of course, like you post and you hope people see it, but like if you're going live on TikTok, they will push your account like crazy because it's like they're monetizing as well.
Yeah, of course.
So like there are agencies that have setups like this, but with like 30 different rooms. That's exactly like this, and you're someone there with the producer, and they're just live selling. And one's doing landscape stuff, one's selling TVs, one's selling headphones. So like, all we would need is one room.
Yeah.
But so like agencies have reached out to us, and they're asking for a pretty penny. So like,
are they really to do it for you?
Oh yeah.
Is it like a percentage of what they sell, or do they just ask you for like a flat rate up front?
I mean, the one company wanted $4,000 retainer plus 10% of commission.
Wow.
Which the commission, no problem. Retainer, too expensive. We actually said no to the retainer. And then I said, like, we can't, like, we ran some numbers, like, it's not going to work. So then they said, no retainer, 25% commission. And we can maybe entertain that because, like, we run so many, and I'll get into this. We run so many paid ads on Facebook, Google, some TikTok, and there's a customer acquisition cost. And that customer acquisition cost is about 25%. So if we went with the TikTok live selling with this agency, that would kind of.
So what is the agency responsible for when they do that? Is it, and we're actually recording now, so we can actually make this part of the conversation.
Sure.
But so what does the agency actually do for you? They supply the area, and do they supply the people that are actually
That's
doing
the thing,
live?
yeah. So they hire the people. So we would send them 5 boxes. They would make a cool little setup with like kitchen stuff in the background or something, bakery themed a setup. We'd send them 5 boxes. They would sell. They'd go live like 2 hours a day for like 5-6 days a week, which is pretty wild. And they would just sell, and they would get logins to our Buckeye Brownies account, and then they would just sell.
So have you set up the actual seller account, which you would sell? So you already can sell off of that.
Yeah. So we've been selling on TikTok for 2 years now. It does okay.
Yeah. So what's the part that you think is missing? Is it the more time on it, or the more like dedication to it?
I mean, it's the labor and the time. Like, I guess having a cool setup, like this is the dopest setup.
Thank you. Dude.
So it's so sweet. But having like a nice setup that is like bakery themed, and then have someone just be able to talk to themselves about the brownies.
Yeah.
Because you're just talking to the camera with nobody there.
Right.
And yes, you're interacting with the customer, so
But it's tough, I'd imagine, because I don't even know how that would work. That aspect of it.
Probably tripods, because I've seen like
I've seen those China ones where they have like 300.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
China people, like they have the tripod set up everywhere, and they're talking.
But it's still like through a phone. Like TikTok's
Yes.
all phone specific.
Is there no way to get down like the computer into it? I've never seen.
I don't think so.
But the thing is with these agencies, they're like TikTok approved.
Okay.
So they have like other access to not reach and not like stuff like that, but they just have approved account reps that can help them facilitate the live a little more fluent. But you see when orders come in and then they do live giveaways and all that stuff. Hey, buy this box within the next 10 minutes, get this for free. Like there's a million ideas that I have that like we could easily implement, but I mean, pricing has to make sense. And plus I don't have time. So
that's what I was going to ask you. So when you talk about doing it that way, the 25% commission that you're giving a retailer, obviously you could promise that to anybody. Have you thought about just having like, because I've seen videos where you guys have a kitchen set up, like it looks like a nice looking kitchen as far as where the bakery takes place.
We have a bakery.
Have you ever thought about something? I mean, I don't even think you need to me, I think you would do better with original content right in your own bakery.
So,
like just having somebody stream all day long and having like the funny conversations and shit that happen in the background between your workers.
Sure.
We're on there. Like, I know it's not maybe the most professional look, but I feel like that actually draws more attention.
I mean, it could work. I know when we're baking, they're bumping music. So like the volume, we'd have to figure that part out.
You just DJI mic, wireless mic, it would wire out the background.
Sure.
But I give you an example. So I went and bought something on Facebook Marketplace, and I ended up buying off this woman who just moved here from Montana with her husband and kids, and they're fitness influencers.
Oh yeah.
They started on First Form as athlete coaches.
Been there a long time ago.
Yeah, and they were making bank, so then they kind of went onto their own and started their own thing. Anyway, all of her videos are all done with their cell phone. Like literally, she'll just like set it up in her kitchen and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" I mean, this chick's got like 500,000-600,000 followers across all of her accounts.
That's it.
Just constantly watching on each account. Just constantly watching all. I mean, so you know, I know for instance on YouTube we get to the point of monetization. Even just on our viewership, we would be bringing in a couple $1,000s a month. So you get to the point of where you have 500,000 followers jumping on for 10 minutes a day. I mean, you're banking. You know,
100%.
But I was just curious. I mean, because at that point you could hire, enough people into this industry.
Yeah, and I guess it's like because the thought is, all right, so like if we're gonna do it in house, no problem. We got to hire someone to do it, which is run it, which is fine. We can give them commission, we can give them whatever they want, and then like have the setup. It's like where, as much as I'd love to say we have room at the bakery, we're constantly like losing room.
Really?
We're growing, and like our little content, you'll see a bunch of videos. We have like a lounge, which I do a lot of talking videos at. And then other than that, like
no space.
Yeah, it's getting thin because I don't want to, our warehouse doesn't have the best lighting. And then in the bakery, we have 16 full-time employees now.
Wow.
So we're kind of, I mean, I'd be in their way constantly if we were in the actual bakery.
Gotcha.
So, but it's something, whether we outsource it or try to bring it in house, but we would just have to get those
ducks in a row.
Yeah. Make those according to those specific chess moves. And then once everything was in play, I mean, it'd be fine. Or we rent out a studio for a month and then have someone and then set it up internally and then pay that person to go live. And that could work. So I know that our website guy was saying, Zack, you need to do this. And then it's funny, like 2 weeks later, an agency reached out to us and he's like, hey, we're live now. Go to this brand's website or go on TikTok, click this brand, and they're just selling. And some brands go live 10 hours a day.
Jesus.
And they just sell and sell and sell. And here's the thing, we're running so many ads on Facebook and Google, which is great. It's crushing it. And then we have our email marketing, we have our text marketing, organic social's okay, which is, I mean, it's very consistent. And then you have someone on TikTok just selling. It's just like another pillar that would add a lot of value, which we have not done yet, but we're looking to.
But let's get this thing started, man. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Guys Night Podcast. If you have seen brownies that are jacked and look like they spend time in the gym and you're wondering where they come from, are they protein? Are they punishment? Or are they just a reward for some hard work and dieting? We're going to find out tonight as we got the owner of Buckeye Brownie joining us. What's up, Zack?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Dude, just had an interesting conversation with you talking about, expanding into TikTok shop and stuff, but I got to ask you, like, first of all, let's show the brownies. I don't know if everybody can see these right now, but these are not your grandma's brownies. These things,
correct.
These things are hand size. I found out about you from my buddy Brandon Nagy, who's a competitor.
Yes, sir.
And he was like stoked to just mash these after a competition. But let's hear about Zack, how you got started, how Buckeye Brownie got started. Who are you?
Awesome. Well, So my name is Zack, Buckeye, owner of Buckeye Brownies. My wife and I have grown Buckeye Brownies from the start, but how it started is pretty wild. So competitive bodybuilder, just like Brandon. And you're dieting when you're competing in bodybuilding. You're strict dieting for 4-6 months. Chicken and rice, chicken asparagus, very strict, right? And towards the end of that dieting phase, your cravings are through the roof.
Really?
So you're watching food on the internet, drooling over it. You're like, I can't wait for that first bite of whatever. So then you compete. Hopefully you do well. And then the floodgates are kind of open. And usually towards the end of that dieting phase, I'd be sending desserts to my mom and be like, oh, Mom, I would love this. I would love that. and then each show, she would make me something unique, crazy, whether it was cakes, cookies, cupcakes, you just indulgent desserts. And then one time she made a layered brownie, and then I competed, and then I loved it. I shared it with friends and family. They were like, Zack, you should sell these. I'm like, yeah, good one. And then I went back to my civil engineering job. I graduated from the University of Akron in civil engineering. I was a construction manager for 2 years in downtown Cleveland, worked for Turner Construction. And then about a year and a half into being a civil engineer was when that occurrence happened. And I didn't even think about selling. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a joke, right? Went back, was doing my 9 to 5, went to the gym as I always would after work. One of the days after that, I kind of just was like, maybe I'll like just make my own brownie. Let me just bake my own one. And which is very similar to this MVP right here, which we will kind of show off here in a little bit. But made my own brownie, posted on social media. And then a lot of my other competitor friends at the time were like, Zack, let me buy a box. Let me buy that. And I was like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, I'll meet you tomorrow, or I'll meet you whenever you can. So then this is just a normal kitchen oven that you would have, and made my own recipe, kind of Googled. All of our brownies have 3 layers, a brownie or blondie bottom layer, something unique in the middle, whether it's cake, Oreos, cakes, animal crackers, crazy
Just
unique,
crazy
yeah,
stuff.
Pop-Tarts.
So the bottom layer is just a basic brownie, essentially based off of whatever recipe you've created.
Correct, brownie or blondie.
What's the blondie?
Yeah.
A blondie is like a brown sugar buttery dessert.
Okay.
Yes, and that's just you can kind
So a
of
little lighter than a brownie almost, less like fudgy almost, and more like cookie almost, or
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, no cocoa.
Yeah.
It's just I think like buttery. Yeah, buttery blondie. I don't know how to. I don't know. How to explain
I don't know. It's good.
Yeah. So then there's something unique in the middle: Oreos, Pop-Tarts, whatever, and then the top is a cookie layer.
Okay.
So we call it our homemade cookie dough, even though it is baked. That is kind of how it's always been. And then we layer it accordingly and bake it all together. So once I made all 3 layers, I kind of perfected my own recipe. Kept posting on social media, and it was funny. Like I said, a lot of my competitor friends. Like, Zack, I'll Venmo you, here's $20, whatever. So then on my lunch break at my engineering job, I'd bake the brownies the night before. Before work, I would cut, bag them, box them in like an all white box, very sketchy. And then I would meet my other competitor friends across the street at like a gas station. Give them a box. They give me the cash, and then I'm like, all right, appreciate it. Enjoy them, and then I'd go back to my engineering job. And it was funny because I always joked around like it was kind of like a drug deal initially.
Yeah, right.
And but that's kind of where it started. And then once
when was this? This
was October of 2018.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So
Yes.
almost 10 years.
Getting there.
Yeah.
October
All
of
right.
2018. And it was also in the age of social media that when you posted, 75 to 80% of your followers would see it. That's huge. That's a huge part of the story. So, so then once a friend of mine saw me posting these brownies, he's like, have you ever thought about like selling them online? Like actually selling them online? I was like, maybe. So then I did some trial and error shipping to a friend in Florida. A lot of sugar in these guys. They got there no problem. I'm like, wow, like the light bulb kind of popped. I'm like, there's an opportunity here to reach a lot of people.
Right.
And that friend was like, I can create you a website. Let's kind of like, let's set things up accordingly. So then he made me a website, did a little more trial and errors with shipping, kind of figured out some packaging with like bubble wrap, business card, like how are we going to do things.
Right.
And then we're kind of off to the races. And
so real quick, sorry to go back, but when you started doing this, how many days a week were you cooking when you were doing it, when you were still working and delivering this at lunch? Like 3 or 4 times a week, a month, or?
No, it was, I mean, of course, like twice a week, then 3 times a week. And then eventually like it was every day.
Wow. So it grew pretty quickly.
It did grow quickly, but of course you got to think I had the same oven that you have. So we have 2 racks and this is like a 10 by 10 pan.
Right.
So you could fit maybe 4, maybe 4. So then, and if we have 4 flavors, which we started out with 4 flavors right off the bat, that's one order. I have to bake all 4 flavors.
Right. And you're only cooking 4. Like literally like 1 box at a time. 4 boxes at a time.
4 boxes at a time, yes. So then if I got 4 orders, I mean, I have to mix all the dough and then I have to spread it accordingly, bake accordingly. So I kept my 9 to 5. Yeah, sure.
Now,
well, here's the thing. I mean, when we talk about baking, this isn't like your mama cooking brownies for dinner either. I can't imagine this is like a standard like 35 to 40 minute bake because these things literally look like they could bench press a semi truck. Like these things have weight.
They're heavy, and we always market them as a half-pound brownie,
okay,
which has been like a great marketing point.
Yeah,
but they're like 10 to 12 ounces. they're always bigger than that, and it's funny. We'll have customers every now and then weigh it. It's like 14 and a half ounces. I'm like, hell yeah. But we can't market it as a pound because then it's the other way around.
Right.
So that's kind of how that started. And then the cool thing was that website was up. We were shipping direct to consumer kind of nationwide. And then at my engineering job, I'd post kind of like on like right when I get to work, I'd post something on Instagram and I'd immediately get 2 to 4 orders. Like, this is great. So then at lunchtime, post again, like 2 to 4 orders. I'm like, what is it? This is unreal.
Yeah.
So then I posted at dinner, another 2 to 4. I'm like, because at the time, 75 to 80% of your followers saw it.
Right. So people that already knew kind of what you were, who you were, like it's in their face every time, and
so then
you
I'm
catch them at that right time.
Well, so then I'm just like, I'm gonna post relentlessly, daily, until we have too many orders.
Right.
So then I posted probably 2 to 3 times every single day for, I mean, it's going on 6, 7 years now. But initially then, that's just like, I just posted constantly. And then of course, once that kind of picked up and we're getting 10 orders a day, 15 orders a day, which was like a ton then we started reaching out to influencers. Hey.
At this point, do you have like an oven bigger? I mean, you're still baking out of your kitchen oven.
How time consuming is like making a few batches of those?
That's a great question. It got very time consuming.
I was going to say, because the layers.
Yes.
Do you have to bake by layer? Do you have to bake?
No. So it's 10 by 10 pan, parchment, but all the dough has to be pre-mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're doing the brownie dough for 10 pans. Mm-hmm. Then I got to spread it, then layer with Oreos, each one.
Yeah, because standard kitchen too.
Yeah.
And just you. It's not like you have like this guy's over here making this.
No,
this guy's
no. So it was just me initially. And then eventually I met my wife and then she kind of made things a lot better. Of course, product wise, but also like labor wise and stuff like that. So, and it was crazy because then after like the 3rd month in business, we did like $5,000 in sales.
Wow.
And I was like, this is so crazy. And as an engineer, I was doing okay. But I was so fixated on growing this because I saw it start from 0, and then we got 1,000 followers, then 2,000 followers, then 3,000. And then that came with like roughly equivalent amount of sales. I'm like, this is insane. It kept growing.
Well, when Evan said how long it was cooking, you started to come back to this point. But when you were cooking the 4 pans at a time, is it just a standard? Is it an hour cook? Is it?
No, so it's about like 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay, so it didn't take much longer.
But I mean, once you kind of get once you get rocking, we'd get so many pans ready before the bake's done.
Yeah.
So I have, once you throw the first round in, then I can get the next round done in like 10, like realistically like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I have all these pans like waiting and the oven. So the oven was the constraint initially.
That's crazy.
And that's kind of how it was for a while. But then a great turning point was June of 2019. I quit my full-time job.
Wow.
To pursue brownies. My parents were very upset, but then my mom said, "Hey, Zach, give us a financial plan, kind of just rough numbers, and then we can kind of like talk about it."
Now, I'm assuming, were you living on your own at this point too, or were you at home with mom and dad?
I was living on my own.
You were living on your own at this point, so it's your own kitchen that you were filling with.
I was destroying my apartment kitchen in Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh my God, an apartment kitchen too.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, like you got like an island at least, maybe some counter space.
So there is an island, but the oven got so destroyed, and then the fridge. So the brownies bake.
Yeah,
we take them out. They cool sitting out for 5-10 minutes, but then they have to go in the fridge to solidify.
Gotcha.
Well, we have one fridge. So my chicken and rice slowly became like a little aisle in that fridge, and it was just all brownies.
Wow.
And that's how it was. And it was crazy.
I just want to know, how did it stop you from eating those brownies? Because you have that chicken and rice, and you have brownies next to
What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, flavor testing had to happen, of course, testing new flavors and stuff. But I guess it was more difficult because having all the ingredients there. I mean, as you'll see, Oreos, Nutter Butters, Reese Cups, Pop-Tarts, having an abundance of that at the house constantly. That was the only thing that kind of every now and then, if there's like a broken Reese Cup that we can't use, I'm like, well. Am I going to throw this out?
Right.
Probably not. So then I'd eat it here, eat it here and there. But I did prep a couple of times, like a full prep while running this company. And I guess that was a little more difficult, but I was also super hyper focused on the show.
Yeah.
So like if I had new flavors coming out, I was like, all right, babe, my wife, I need you to try this. I need you to make sure we're good. Or I had friends or my parents be like, hey, we're coming out with these new flavors. Like, let me really give me constructive criticism here because I can't try them.
So mom and dad are like, what are you doing? You have this great job. You're not going to cook baked brownies for a living. But at the same point in time, Ma, this is your fault. You cooked me this amazing layer brownie.
So my mom's more of a and rest in peace, she passed away in August 1st, but she was the inspiration of all of this. And it makes it so much better because of how well we've got, on how proud she was and would have been continuing on to this. But so she was all for it. My dad was the white collar job. He literally, and he'll say this, and he always says this. He never missed a day of work, and he went home sick twice. I'm like, geez, Dad, it's okay to take one day off. But so he was very strict about it. I showed him a financial plan. He's like, okay, no problem. And then I moved into a house. I bought my first house as a W-2 employee in May of 2019. I had a 1-car garage. Like, do I just park my car in there? Do I not? The apartment kitchen is not cutting it. So I turned my 1-car garage into a commercial bakery.
Wow.
200 square foot garage.
So literally born in a garage. I mean, you're just like Facebook.
Right.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
And I could send you photos for you to throw up at some point. And that's where the growth really happened. And that's when the city of Akron came in. They're like, this is a little different bakery, but it approved because it was a separate structure. And we had doors. We removed the garage door and made French doors. Mm-hmm. Insulated it, FRP along the walls, added an oven. The gas line was already out there. We added the 3-compartment sink, hands-free sink. It was beautiful, and I'll send you a photo, and it was sweet.
Definitely.
And that's where it was 200 square feet, and that's where it all started, man. So that's where the first $50,000 a month happened.
Wow.
And it just kept growing from there. So as of June, the garage bakery was got signed off by the city July of 2019. And then it was kind of off to the races from there.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it was really just me for the longest time. I met my wife March of January of 2020.
Okay, so just after you kind of made this, and then she comes, you meet her, and she's like, "What do you do for a living?"
Yeah.
Well,
and she knew because we went to the same gym.
Okay,
so she's like, "Oh, you're that brownie guy." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you want some brownies?" And then it was great. But then ironically, she had a very she grew up with a very she had a big culinary background because she always baked with her mom and grandma. So
Oh, no kidding.
So once when she came, she's like, "Oh, these flavors are great." But then when we would come up with new flavors, it seemed like she was overstepping, but she was right all the time about new flavors, adding this, adding that. And then now she's kind of like head of flavor design.
Really?
Yeah, recipe creation, flavor, product design. That's kind of her thing now.
That's awesome.
Now, going back to 2020, how did COVID impact you during that time?
So great question. So very, very scared because things are getting shut down.
Yes.
And but the one thing is that everybody's home.
Yes.
And the post office is open. That's huge because we would bake our brownies, we'd package them, bubble wrap, tape, put the label on, and then I would drive to the post office or UPS to drop them off accordingly. And because those two places stayed open, we were all good. Yeah. So when COVID really hit, that I'm gonna say March of 2020, we did 38,000 in sales, and I'm like, okay, we're good because I couldn't afford like a 5,000 sales month. Couldn't dive that low. So then 38,000, and then kind of like hovered around there, slowly increased. Everybody was home, so there was no problem. But then like the algorithm started shifting, kind of like I'd probably say during COVID is when you started having to pay to play for people to see your stuff. Yeah. So unless you were like a monster influencer or you were paying the platform's advertising fees, people just wouldn't see you as much.
Yeah, it's interesting because even now when you talk about content and stuff like that, like there's all these ways that they say, oh, this is how you get noticed, but it almost rewards like the cheaters. Yeah. Like you see a lot of the accounts, like we see it all the time because almost every reel that we post gets the comment like, send me this reel from this guy who's got like 180,000 followers, and it's like some, fake Indian account or whatever, but they've got the followers because of the troll farms or whatever they're doing. Yeah. And then a lot of them will be like, hey, you want to get 40,000 followers real quick? Just take somebody else's content and basically put it on yours as a fresh content. And it's like, why would I do that?
Yeah. There's like so many gimmicks and stuff like that. And really like, it's really just creating like an engaging following community and stuff like that, which we've done to an extent. We have an amazing like ecosystem in our email campaigns, of course, organic social. We have 20 to 30 creators we work with monthly. And it's all good. And, but then so in 2020, things were rocking. And I'm going to kind of fast forward. Things were rolling. My wife was in grad school. She is the smartest female I've ever met. She was able to get like all of her work done and graduate early and do all this crazy stuff to help me from like noon until 4 because I'm still holding down the fort myself. Right. And then Ash would come. Her name's Ashley. Ash would come in and help me, and we would crush the rest of the day. Then end up going to the gym, and it'd be all good. But then eventually, business keeps growing. We have more influencers on board. We dropping more new flavors. Christmas comes, we're getting slammed. I'm like, I need to hire somebody. And then it's funny, back then I'm like, I'm never gonna hire somebody. it has to be done my way, so specific. And it's funny, this morning I was thinking like kind of what we were gonna talk about, and that was one point that I always said. It's funny that I laugh at myself about that I'll never hire somebody, and now we have 16 employees.
Yeah. So talk about that first hire. So what was the process of you finding somebody? Because obviously you built this from literally your garage, actually your apartment kitchen, to where it was at that point, which was about 500,000 in sales a year. At that point, or close to it, 400,000 to 500,000 or more.
Yes, at that point, yep.
So obviously you've been successful. People like your stuff; they're still buying it, right? Yep. And now you got to bring somebody else in, which I would be like you, especially when you're talking about food. Is I don't want the quality of my food to drop down. If somebody gets a bad brownie, they're never going to buy from me again. Or I don't want somebody to be dirty and not correct. So what was that entire process like, and how long did it take you to actually find somebody?
So a lot of lessons learned. Yeah. Because I hired a friend first. You can hire someone and become friends, but if you hire a friend first, they
slack off.
They forget that it's
work.
They forget that it's work. Okay. So when I had to tell that man, hey, I need you to do this, that, and the other, and he's like, bro, but X, Y, and Z. I'm like, well, you forget that I'm still the boss. Right. So for the most part, I'd say a good 75%, things were all good. We were shooting the shit, baking brownies, bumping music, kind of just hanging out. And it was all good. But of course, there'd be tensions were high when I have to boss him around for a certain reason. So for the most part, it was all good. I hired our first employee, Joe. And then
Is Joe still with you today?
No. Yeah. So that was about a year and a half that he was with us.
Okay.
I was able to go on vacation, and Joe and 2 other employees were able to run the show. But you got to remember, they're driving to my house at 7, 8 a.m. And my wife was not the most happy with that. But that's just where we were at. And eventually, so Joe came on board, and then we hired 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. So we had 4 people showing up to my house and this is mid 2021, late 2021, at 8 a.m. And we were cranking things out. I was still hands deep in all the labor. I was doing everything. I was micromanaging everybody like crazy, which they would still they'd joke about that. But we'd get it done, and we were doing a lot of business. And then came summer to fall 2022. I know we're outgrowing the space where we have a 3-compartment fridge that we're baking all these brownies, and then we're putting them in the fridge to solidify for that next day to cut. And we were squeezing the juice out of that fridge. There was no more room there. It's like, all right, where do we go from here? Because I owned that house. Mm-hmm. So do I buy a warehouse, turn it into a bakery? Do I buy a rundown Taco Bell? And they have some kitchen stuff. So just kind of retrofit it into a bakery. Like, what do I do here? So kind of weighed out a lot of options. And then my mom, which she's, God bless her soul, she was like the best at networking. So she found a Circle K that had a bakery up for lease. I'm like, what is this? So then fall of 2022, my wife and I and my parents, we visit this bakery in Akron, Ohio. Apparently, Circle K has muffins. They're like Circle K brand, Circle K branded muffins, all good. Yeah. And this bakery supplied all the muffins for the whole state of Ohio.
Oh, wow.
But COVID shut them down.
Yeah.
So this was just a storage facility for 2 years, catching dust. And Circle K doesn't need the money, but they're like, maybe we should lease this out. So then, like I said, fall of 2022, I walk in. They have a 600 square foot walk-in fridge.
Wow.
They have these 2 walk-in ovens that like pick up a rack and spin. A 5,000 square foot facility. So I walk in here, I'm drooling, my jaw drops. They have like the Louis Vuitton of equipment.
Right.
I'm like, this is it. And I'm like, and then I'm starting to like, all these ideas are coming to my head. And at that point, we had 4 other employees, and then 5 including me. And because I was negotiating with a company and not like a single man, the lease contract took 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
To go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm like, we need, this is October of 2022. I'm like, we're going to be in this spot by December 1st. So we have this new December rush. Yeah. We're good. We did not get in there until February of 2023. And then we like officially moved in, I'm going to say March 1st of 2023.
So it was quite a process.
Oh my goodness.
But well worth it.
Well worth it. Dream come true. Truly a blessing that we got this space.
And at that point, commercial real estate was at a low too. So I'm assuming the lease was pretty favorable at that point.
Yeah, I mean it was. We pay the space. Yeah, I mean I'll be transparent. We pay $5,000 a month for rent. That's but and it's funny, like even now we'll look to potential spots to maybe even build another spot, and even to build something out, $1 million minimum.
Yes.
And like, and even back then, it probably would have been $750. Like, it still would have been a ton of money.
Well, and because the equipment came with it, right?
So that's the thing, bro. Right. Is that I get in, they have the equipment, they have the fridge, plumbing's there, AC's there, hot water tank. I spent probably $20,000 on new mixers, tables. We sealed the floor, storage racks. which in the grand scheme of things was not like that was minimum to like start operating.
Yeah, because you're right. I mean, you think about that would have been $1 million investment to build something and turn it into something. Even if you cut it in half and call it $500,000, that's 10 years of operating, right?
100%, man.
And at the same point in time, you don't have to invest in all the other stuff as well, and you're not in debt. If something happens and you can't bake tomorrow, like, okay, no problem. We just downsize back to my garage or whatever. At that point, I'd imagine that's got to be something you're thinking.
That and that was a thought, absolutely. So the garage was the test bakery,
Yeah.
and then of course we moved into the 5,000 square foot place.
So when you move into there, obviously you talked about your first $50,000 a month was in the garage. What did you end up getting that up to before you went into the major bakery? What was your highest sales?
So my goal was 6 figures, and then that December of 2022, we had 98. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! So close, but it was awesome. But like, it was an exhausting month.
Yeah,
and,
but $98,000 out of the garage still.
Yes, sir.
While negotiating, while trying to get that. Yeah.
Wow.
So and holidays, and you got a woman involved in the life now. So
Yeah.
vacation or time off is a little bit more mandatory in some sense. So
Yes.
congratulations, dude.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
man.
to hear that somebody builds $1 million business out of a garage, you hear the stories that go, super public because they're Intel or they're Facebook or whatever.
Sure.
But to hear somebody do that right here in Akron, Ohio, just plugging away every day, that's quite a story, man.
It's a blessing, man, and it's cool. And a lot of people know, as you know as well, social media is a powerful business.
Yes.
So being able to leverage that and figure that out kind of like right off the bat, like this is how we have to do this. And then once, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit, we started running paid advertising. I'm going to say early 2022. So for the longest time, mainly capacity wise, because like I couldn't keep up with business. It was just influencer marketing, and organic was crushing because everybody would see this. Everybody would see the posts.
Right.
But then, like I said, early 2022, we started running $1,000, $2,000 on paid ads, which at that point was like a ton.
Yeah.
Of course, now I'll happily talk about how much we spend now. But no, and that brought a ton of new customers, and that was all good. So yeah. So then we moved in. 6 figures was the goal, and then that first full month in there, I'm gonna say we were still kind of partially moving.
Was there any problems with the health department at any time?
There was not.
Okay.
There was not. Knock on wood.
Not gonna get to say
because
I heard stories like people get into these warehouses and stuff, and then after a few weeks, they find like black mold in some of the corners, or there's a problem.
Correct. No, and that was a fear for
Yes.
sure. But because, like I said, we were leasing from not just Joe, we were or Tim, just some landlord. We were leasing from a company, so they actually installed a brand new hot water tank. They
awesome.
made sure all their ducts were in a line.
Yeah.
They double checked, everything was inspected. So although negotiating went back and forth forever,
what were some of the key points in negotiations that do you remember? Anything that sticks out as like you were just surprised to be negotiating this when you just wanted to cook brownies?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that which we still got kind of screwed on was that, like, so when you lease something and you think like if you're renting a place and your fridge breaks, who's in charge of fixing that? The landlord, right? In commercial, it's not how it works.
Sure.
So we are in charge of fixing all the equipment, any of the appliances, all that stuff, and the level of small business insurance we had to have was like just I guess a super high umbrella that I like didn't really expect. And yeah, we paid like a couple $100 a month for this business insurance, whatever. But so that was just eye-opening, because I'd tell an attorney, of course, we got an attorney to look over the lease, and he's like, Zach, why are you in charge of fixing the AC if it breaks? Because it's a shared space. So we have our warehouse, Circle K regional office is attached to our building, and then there's a normal Circle K in the front. So it's funny because when we get ingredients or even new interviews or someone to pick up an order, I say, come to the Circle K, but you have to drive around back and go to the white door with the logo above it, because and everybody's like, why the hell am I at Circle K? And that's just a funny thing. So
So you said the $98,000 a month hits. You move into the new space.
Yeah. So then April of 2023, we had 100 grand in sales. I'm like head over heels. I'm like, this is wild. Just seeing the number.
Did you feel, other than the 6 figures and that relief or that excitement, did you feel like a relief? Like, was it that much easier operating in the new space? Were you like
so much easier? So like we did, I think it was actually 106,000 that first month. And I'm like, we could easily squeeze out 150, 200 because of like the space and how the ops were running at the time. And then I think a couple months after that, hired 2 more. We increased ad spend. Organic socials kept growing. And then I think I want to say fall. These days, so much has happened. So
Yeah.
Well, there's so much going on at once.
I want to say fall of 2023 or spring of 2024. I filmed one of my friends eating a brownie post show, shirt off, spray tan everywhere, went viral. Our first actual viral post got 1 million views in a week. It's at 3.8 million views now. The comments were all over the place, and this was on TikTok. But the traffic brought us $35,000 in sales from that one post.
wow?
And that was like, okay, this, and I was so anti TikTok. So seeing that, I'm like, all right, so TikTok is a thing.
Yeah.
And so then it just kept posting relentlessly and all that stuff. And it's funny, my buddy's like, let me know when I get my royalties. He goes to the gym as well. You might have seen him. But so that's kind of where we're at, and things kept growing. And the 6 figures was great. And of course, you kind of you hit that. You set more goals. You hit the next goal. Kind of keep going from there. You find love in the process of getting there.
Yeah.
But of course, once you hit it, it's like, that's cool. But what's next?
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at today, man. So
I mean, that's an awesome story, obviously. So where are you at sales monthly now?
okay, so I will kind of give a couple tidbits on the way. The in-person events are great. That's another reason why that kind of grew our nice community.
When you say in-person events, you mean like showing up at
at the bodybuilding events.
Yeah.
Yes. So those were great. I love selling in person. I would, if I could do an event every weekend, I would. Of course, my wife would not be happy with that, but I love selling in person. It's just like something that, and selling the brownies sell themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially at a bodybuilding event. People are like, give me all the sugar. And it's like, I got it right here for you. And of course, everybody asks, are they protein brownies? All that stuff. It's like, no, these are just indulgent brownies and all that. But
so I was gonna ask that actually, because I was like, well, Buckeye Brownies. I knew that you lifted. I knew that you're competitive. If I see you in the gym and your wife's in the gym all the time, and I was like, are these things actually like healthy? But then I was like, why did Brandon wait till after the show?
sure.
There's probably some protein in there because there's eggs and
Couple grams,
but realistically, this is just like indulge yourself and reward yourself for whatever diet or craziness that you're doing in life.
Correct.
Maybe heat it up and put a scoop of ice cream on it.
So heating it up is a pro tip.
Yeah.
Because so here's the thing. People either love our brownies or don't like them dramatically, and reason being is because our brownies are like very crisp on the top and bottom, but are very soft and like gooey in the middle. And that gooey texture, people either love or they're like, yo, this is a little different for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and warming it up just like amplifies that gooey texture middle, where like, and for the most, I mean, we've done pretty well. So like more often than not, people love the texture.
Course. Yeah.
Well,
because when you look at something like that, my first opinion is like, some things are just not made to be extra big, like when it comes to food, because it doesn't taste the same. But those things look amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro, is that presentation is everything. So like so for something to do well on social media, I have to persuade you to spend $40 to $50 on something you can't see in person. It has to look unreal.
Yeah.
And then of course it has to taste great, which that's where the creators come in and they try and they're like, oh wow, this is surprisingly good. And then the sales follow.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that works.
Who are some of the people you have doing influencing? Is it other bodybuilders and things like that? Or are you having guys that are just like food guys? Or
So initially it was all bodybuilders, just because that was the community.
Yeah.
Nick Dompierre was someone that we worked with initially, and he's been with us for a long time. He is in that fitness health space, and he's big on YouTube. But now it's kind of just like food creators. because we're not just like a bodybuilding brand anymore. We kind of were for like in like 2019, 2020, 2021. But as the business grew, like we just market to people who like desserts. Like if you have a family and your kids love desserts, these are for you.
Well, locally we see, what was the place that just moved in not too long ago in Medina? Is it Crumble Cookie?
Oh yeah.
And I've been there and I'm like, okay,
Sure.
right? But people go there and there's a line out that place when they put new flavors. So
People
there's
love it.
definitely a market for these people that are like, this is way better than making something at home.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like, you get a box of this. This will feed a family of 7.
Yeah. Well, and realistically, like, Crumble perfected the online marketing.
Yes.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Tip my cap. We're trying to do the same thing, but they do new flavors weekly. We do new flavors every few weeks.
I was going to say do you do seasonal flavors and stuff or something like that?
100%. When we first started, it was like just monthly.
Okay.
Because I couldn't even do any more than that. Then it was just monthly plus cookies or plus our no bakes, like smaller items, which my wife, those are her like homemade recipes for like from like growing up childhood, which makes things even better. And now we do flavors because we have the capacity about every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So they're either seasonal, they're themed. Of course, we have Valentine's flavors out now. We had a February box drop 2 days ago. We'll have a March Madness box drop in March. We'll have like maybe a spring sweetness box end of March, stuff like that. Summer themed, kind of a little bit of everything.
So when it comes into the flavor aspect of things, you mentioned that your wife's got the culinary background, so she helps a lot with the flavors.
Oh, yeah.
So what are some things that what are some flavors that like really popped and like you keep them? They're a staple of you guys now. What are some epic failures though? There's got to be a couple out there that just did not do well.
That's funny, man. So every January we let the customers vote for their top 4 flavors of the prior year.
Okay.
And that makes our fan favorite box for January.
Awesome.
So we literally do like a March Madness type bracket for about 32 flavors, and it votes down to like 2 brownies, 2 blondies, and that's the fan favorite box. So there's a flavor called Peanut Butter Paradise. It has like a Reese cup on top, peanut butter Oreos. It's like your chocolate peanut butter lover's dream. A little more chocolatey and peanut butter than this Mr. Buckeye here. And that has made the box like 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Then there is my favorite ice cream is Cookie Monster.
Oh yeah.
The blue Oreos.
That's my wife's favorite too.
Chips Ahoy, all that crazy
Handles
stuff.
does that.
Handles crushes it. Yeah. And so we made a brownie like inspired after that about a year and a half ago. And that's has Oreos and Chips Ahoy in the middle. It has a Cookie Monster, cookie dough, white chips, chocolate chips, actual broken up Oreos in the mix, Oreo crumb topping. It was on our website for January. Of course, January's passed, but that flavor's been like anytime sales are low, we'll just like drop it for a couple of days because people just love that flavor. And it's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Some flops though is that early garage bakery did more themed boxes, which we do now, but I guess I stepped out of the norm a little bit. Cereal flavors. We have a Fruity Pebbles here, which does pretty well, but we did like a Fruit Loops flavor. And cereal's hit or miss because it gets stale in transit.
That's
rice-based cereal, like Fruity Pebbles, does okay.
Gotcha.
But like we did Fruit Loops, stale as hell. Couldn't do it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, love CTC. Super stale.
Really?
So like those flopped.
Were those things that do you pre-test these things? Or
We
you
should
just-
have.
Yeah.
We should have more.
Learn.
Yeah. And then another one was we did a breakfast box, which it was maple bacon, like a maple bacon donut one, which actually was pretty sweet. But we did a coffee one. That one flopped. Like we used like actual ground coffee. This was before my wife was like full into recipe development. I was like throwing stuff in and I was trying them. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
But coffee's like niche. And like people and even now, like when we come out with flavors, like if it's super niche, we'll drop it like for a weekend special. We won't like make it for the whole month.
Right.
So like we did an orange cream blondie, very niche. And that actually crushed, but that was like a Friday to Sunday drop. Versus, and even now, like people say, Zach, do key lime pie. Do you guys love key lime pie?
I'm not a key lime.
I love key lime.
Okay, so likewise, it's like, it's okay, but I will definitely try strawberry cheesecake, like other fruity stuff.
Yeah, for
way
sure.
more over that. So that's so niche. So like
Yes.
that'll never make the main box.
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking about a flavor I had in Europe. It was a brownie. It was a peppermint brownie. You ever think about doing that?
So we've done peppermint a while back.
Okay.
Thing about peppermint is that when we ship peppermint in a box of 4,
yeah.
the other 3
Smell like peppermint.
and taste like peppermint.
Really?
Taste too.
So even like we'll do a mint flavor,
Mhm.
a chocolate mint
Okay.
every December, but we'll sell it as a 4-pack.
Okay.
And then if they want to mix and match, they can, but it's kind of like we even have like a notice. If choosing magical mint, your other brownies could smell/taste like mint.
Yeah, it makes sense. At least you're upfront about it because, yeah, I'd imagine some of the flavors do have like, that niche. So the other thing about it, I thought about this too, it's kind of tough is because it is online,
Yes, sir.
like you said, talking about like stale cereal and things like that. But there's probably some ideas that you have, like even with some cold stuff. But it's like, I thought of tiramisu when you mentioned coffee grinds. But,
Okay.
But it kind of limits your capability on being able to ship. So that's something else that goes into this because, like you said, it can ship and fail because of shipping.
Sure. I mean, here's some other failures. So we've baked with fresh fruit. We have to ship that in the heat, and it ships just like this. We don't add cold packs, none of that stuff. They're like, Zach, why don't you add all these dry ice, cold packs? It's just how we've done it.
Yeah.
So like, yes, they'll arrive a little soft. It says put it in the fridge upon arrival. It says it on the box.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how it is. Even if it gets a little melted, the chocolate chips will be a little melted. Put in the fridge, will be no issue.
Right.
So, but shipping fresh fruit, we did like I remember it was called Razzle Dazzle. It was a lemon raspberry blondie. It tasted amazing, but we put actual raspberries on top. And if it didn't arrive in exactly 2 days, that third day, those raspberries were mold.
Yeah.
And then that was
Oh my God.
that's a good. That's a handful of boxes that I had to either refund, send a new box, and that's the tricky thing as well. Once the box leaves our facility, we have no control
Right.
Yeah.
over that transit. So we roughly say each box has we give it up to 6-7 days to get there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it's after that, we ship you a free box, 100%, or we'll just give you a refund.
That's awesome.
Because. Yeah, we're shipping baked goods.
So is this how it's shipped out? This is like a pizza style box, right?
That's exactly how it gets shipped out. You get a bubble wrap, business card, label, comes right there, and we'll tape the box. I mean, we tape it up. We tape it up dramatically.
So how has expense obviously when you started out versus now, because I'm sure that affects your cost and shipping and stuff like that a little bit. But how much does it cost to ship one of these? Because this thing is heavy.
So we run our website through Shopify.
Okay.
And we have like a certain plus account, so they have like the best rates for shipping. So I'm gonna say East Coast shipping one of those is about $8-9.
Still not cheap.
Not cheap. No. That's why everybody loves the free shipping sale, which we try to avoid that kind of at all costs. We'll do it every now and then, a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And we always have free shipping over $100.
Okay.
You spend a couple bucks, we'll cover shipping.
Yeah,
no
but then
problem.
it's a lot cheaper to send 4 of these at once. Probably is $16 to $20 versus $8 a piece, or you still sign them separately.
No, we send them all together. But the crazy thing is that like through the Shopify deal, I don't know, shipping 4 of these is like $1 to $2 more than shipping 1.
Really?
I don't get
Get
it.
out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
so-
'cause it's-
so shipping 4 is like $10 East Coast.
That's
versus
crazy.
shipping 1 East Coast is like $8.
That's crazy.
And it's like 1 to 2 day UPS ground. Shipping out west is difficult because it has to be priority mail.
Right.
And that's 2 to 3 day priority, and that's like $13 to $15.
Yeah.
And it's also crazy. We've shipped international.
I was going to say, what countries have you been? Like most interesting countries.
60 countries.
Get out of here.
We have a globe in our bakery, and we've put a point at every single one. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I know Australia, New Zealand, Dubai, I think Greenland. But here's the thing. Here's the thing: is that shipping international, you're paying $70 to ship it.
Yeah.
We pay $70 because it's a wash, and then it gets there within 2 to 4 days, which is wild.
Wild.
So,
So you do see that go over. I'm assuming bigger orders when it's going overseas.
typically, yeah, they'll usually stock up. And it's crazy. We have a good 10 customers that they live in Australia, they live in New Zealand, they live in couple just crazy places that order almost monthly.
Wow.
And I'm like,
That's
you're
awesome.
you're the best. The thing that sucks about international is that if it gets caught in customs or it gets lost, we can't just send them a new box,
Right.
Because like there's the shipping.
Yeah.
We can't just pay another 70. So then we'll just lose the cost of the product.
Yeah.
And then refund them entirely.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
yeah, that's tough to swallow because obviously you want the best customer service that you can offer. But I mean, there's always ways to get around that in the future too. Couple things. I just had some notes that I wanted to ask. Obviously, how has starting the business versus now? Because when you first started, it was just you.
Mhm.
So really, your cost was your time
Yes,
and
sir.
the cost of the brownie mix and everything that goes into it.
Sure.
Now you're employing 16 people. You've got, have you done the math as far as the cost of a box of brownies when you were doing it versus where you're at now? Because obviously inflation's taken a big part on
Sure.
ingredients and stuff like that. Have you ever done kind of a box by box analysis?
So yes, and I have to, and I for the longest time I didn't.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "How much we making?" I'm like, "We're doing okay." And she's like, "Zach, we're too big. Like you need to know exactly how much." So before every box comes out, I do like a cost of goods sold, so I know exactly how much the box costs, just ingredients. But like labor is like a moving target because like some weeks we're swamped, some weeks we're not. So like we could just kind of add a couple bucks for labor. But a box of this cost between ingredients only about $8 to $10.
Wow.
Yes, raw ingredients. But then
that's at bulk though, right? So
well, yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because we still get all of our ingredients from Walmart delivered.
do you really?
Yeah, so we have like 3 or 4 Walmart delivery guys drop stuff off at our bakery every day. There's a lot of bulk stuff, like all of the flour, sugar, brown. We get pallets of that.
Yeah.
Chocolate chips, we buy that in bulk.
But the ingredients, you're going to the Walmart app and ordering it and just showing
100%. We got, and,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like, how are you still doing that? It's like, well, I've been on the wait list to get Oreos in bulk for 3 years now.
Really?
I guess it's like who you know, maybe in that instance.
That's
and we use,
insane.
and of course, naturally, we use some off-brand stuff if possible.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So is it like, sorry to interrupt, but when you talk about like the Oreo wait list, like is that like a contact with Nestle that you've tried to make where you're trying to reach out to their field sales rep?
yes, sir. So
And they're just like, hey, I can't help you for.
so Montelez
yeah.
is the distributor for Oreo,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had several calls with this lady. And she's like, Zach, like fill out this form and we'll get back to you. I mean, I probably should reach back out because it's been 3 years. But yeah, we just, we kind of like Pop-Tarts and stuff we still get from Walmart. I mean, there's a lot of, if we can go off brand, we will, but sometimes we can't.
But that's just insane because here you are. And if anybody's listening that's actually wants to get behind somebody, here's a guy who's running a multi-million-dollar business and he's still buying retail products because frankly, it's just too hard to compete with the big box competitors that are out there when it comes to a business. That's insane to me to hear that you're not working through a distributor. In that sense.
There's like some things, absolutely. And we will work through distributor as much as we can.
Sure.
But when we need 150 packs of Oreos in one day, like
I used to work for a distributor.
Yeah.
And I can see the problems is maybe it's the bulk or the delivery trucks they're having problems with because say that you order 200 to 250
Sure.
cases, but the problem is with a pallet, it's probably 1,000 or 1,500. So
potentially,
yeah, potentially. And then on top of that, how many times a week you're going to order? Because most of these people that work for distributors, they need a weekly order, and you won't go through 1,500 cases or 1,000 cases in a week. You'll maybe go through it in a week and a half or a week and 2 days.
Sure.
I guess
So
it's
the volume does go up and
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
And the unique thing about our business is that everything's baked to order.
Mhm.
So if you order today, in theory, I will then take your money,
Mhm.
buy the ingredients, bake it,
Mhm.
and send it out. That's how, when it was just me, that's what would happen. I'd get the 50, I'd get the $100, couple orders, all good. I'd then go to the store and make sure I have my flour, my sugar. I'd have all that. And then, of course, my time was the profit.
Right.
Where now, I mean, it's the same thing, but just in volume.
Right.
Mhm.
And so if you order today, it takes our team a couple of days to bake it fresh. and then ship it out. Of course, we have a couple upsells. Hey, if you pay for like skip the line, you pay for rush baking, it'll ship in a day or two. But if you wait the normal standard baking processing time, all orders take like 4 to 7 days to be baked fresh prior to shipment.
Gotcha.
Because we're getting a couple hundred orders every single day.
Gotcha. What's the next big goal for you? Where you're at now? Where you want to be?
So you brought up monthly sales.
Yeah.
That was my goal in 2025 was 400,000 in sales. We did that last January.
Wow.
Which was like January. That makes no sense. But then as 2025 went, ups and downs. Like I said, my mother passed away in August. That was a very low month because I wasn't at the bakery at all. Ads would do great. Then ads weren't doing so well. Some flavors did great. Some packs just were kind of didn't resonate with people. And then we started picking up steam again, in Q4 of last year. So my goal I have a lot of goals of 2026. Of course, like the financial goal is kind of like average 400K in sales a month now. Get the business to a point that I'm not at the bakery every day. I'd like to be there like 4 days a week because I can do a lot of stuff from home because it's social media, customer service, content creation, stuff like that. And then I wrote all this down. Hired 20 employees, 2026 goal. We were in Acme, which was cool. We had a small fudge cup, smaller product that was in 16 Acmes across Northeast Ohio. That was sweet. Unfortunately, they did cut that, but I would like to get with another wholesale company or a grocery contact at some point. Get back into grocery, and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep things rolling. This year we kind of restructured the bakery to create a hierarchy. For the longest time, I'm like, all right, let's just bake. Let's just do it. All right, you're going to bake. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. Where now like that kind of go with the flow mentality only works so far.
Sure.
And now when we're doing a couple $1 million in sales a year, we need structure.
Yeah.
And in January, we had a big meeting. And of course, my wife did this whole flow sheet. So we have like a bakery lead. We have a bakery lead assistant. We have a content lead. We have a cookies division lead, and assistants for all those roles. And then of course our bakery assistants are like the gas to the car.
Right.
So we have a good 10 people that are just cranking stuff out, where then we have our more important roles directing, hey, we're baking this today. This table's that. We're making this amount of cookies today, et cetera, et cetera. So
Gotcha. Got any other questions, Glenn?
Yeah. Like you say you want to go into like Walmarts and stuff. Potentially. Like, how will you deliver? Do you have like any like delivery plans, trucks? Will you have?
I haven't thought that far.
I was gonna say, because I worked for a distributor and I did sales for like 12 years for a beer company.
Okay.
So awesome. I know all the distribution and all the managers and stuff. I'm just trying to think like, how would you, because you got to have the delivery truck,
sure.
You got to have the salesperson, you got to have the merchandiser, because you're going to if you have some, like say you make a sale to a Walmart or a Giant Eagle, I would always have a merchandiser so you can have a display piece or display front section part so you can have like a sight of view.
It's got to look pretty too.
Yeah, it's got to look pretty.
Yeah.
Because if you let it up to the managers,
they don't care.
Exactly. They're going to bring it in.
And honestly, lesson learned, because at Acme, we didn't have that. And they just said, hey, we'll throw this here.
Yes.
And it looked okay, but it was just like sat out, and there was no like marketing behind it. There was we had no display. And I was not communicated that. I was so excited to just have like a wholesale account.
Dude, I already know what your display could look like right now.
Yeah.
I saw there's a picture of you on one of your socials where you've got like white gloves on, kind of like the Mario gloves.
Showing them.
And you got like 2 brownies.
Yeah.
Like I could just picture when you walk into a grocery store or a gas station, there's like you with like these monster gloves holding these monster brownies and then just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
dude. Like,
there's
these should absolutely be in the store.
Yeah,
and not to mention
100%.
for you, I imagine the revenue often would go up or your spread would go up because of the not having to ship them.
Sure. And there's a lot of things is that like, so constraints, right?
Yes.
So like, and I could talk about this forever, by the way, but constraints is like, our operations are getting close to a constraint. We have 2 ovens. We have like I said, that 600 square foot fridge is not the constraint, but the ovens is. So We could probably do for maybe 5, maybe 600,000 in our current facility, but then like after that,
it's hard.
We will have to either 2 shifts, work throughout the weekends. We'll have to, or buy a third oven.
Yeah.
And that is probably $100,000 investment.
Sure.
And either way, and it'd be investing it into a place that we don't own.
Right.
So that's why we're so hesitant on making crazy modifications to our current facility, because in theory, in February of 2028, we're piecing out because our lease ends.
Oh, wow.
But then, of course, I mean, we could just renew the lease.
So you talk about content. You've obviously got kind of a, you've been doing the content basically for yourself for the last 8 years. You've used, some other people to help as far as influencers.
Yes, sir.
Now you've got a director of content.
Yep.
So you see these big brownies, and the first thing that comes to my mind, have you done content where like you try to break the Guinness Book of World Records for largest brownie, or somebody could eat the most pounds of brownie at a sitting? For some reason, because you're in the bodybuilder community,
Sure.
I just picture like 10 bodybuilders that are like 300 pounds,
Just
all trying to
smashing.
smash as many of these they can.
So like that'd be wild. So we've seen just food creators eat a whole box.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's wild.
They've literally on your brownies.
Yeah, and they film themselves eating the whole box, and it's cool. And that content, like,
Does okay.
it does okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes crazy every now and then, but then sometimes it doesn't. But also, like, the person who's eating plays a role as well. Are they entertaining? Are they not? Is there a hook? Is it just like, hey, watch me eat these brownies? Like, it could be enticing, it could be boring. So like, there's so many factors that go into it. And like, oddly enough, some content that's been doing very well lately is our baking behind the scenes video. Yeah. So if you want to know how that gets made, the brownie base, the Nutter Butters, the cookie dough, the Reese Pieces, the step-by-step, that's content that does pretty well, at least as of late. And then the other one is just bodybuilders eating the brownies still. Yeah. Because it's like, a lot of people are like, why are they white or black? Because of the spray tan. Yeah. And then also, like, they haven't had sugar for months. Yes. So how are they going to react? Yeah. And that's always like a cool thing. And usually they go and I've been there. Yeah. You melt because there's so much sugar in there. Yeah.
2 questions.
Yep.
First thing is, are you going to be at Yarnold this year?
Oh man. So that is a bucket list thing for me.
I was saying, because you would expand tremendously, because people come all over the world.
Correct.
To go to the Arnold.
That is a bucket list thing for me. It's high expenses. Of course, the return would be there.
What is the booth rental for Arnold?
So the year it came back, because I know it was shut down for COVID or something.
Yes.
The year it came back, it was like $5 to $6 grand for the weekend, which is not bad. But now I think it's like 10 to 15.
Is it really?
For like an 8x8 section.
Wow.
And
do they have the ability to be like to give you like a vendor license or whatever, where you basically like, I don't know how it works, but at convention shows a lot of times you can either buy the booth or you could get like a different type of license where you could like walk around.
That'd be crazy. I know my buddy owns a meal prep company, and he has a license that like they're the only meal prep company to provide food for the Arnold. Oh, wow. And he crushes.
Of course.
So, but like a lot of people, besides like the people getting off stage, a lot of people they care about what they eat.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
Throughout the day. So like they probably won't eat this at 3:00 on a Tuesday.
Right.
So like the booth, regardless, that's still a bucket list thing. I'd love to do it. The reach would be great. That's kind of where the business started, was the bodybuilding community. And I mean, Crumble does so well because they look good and they're big and they're like different and it's like out of this world. Yeah. And I think no matter what event or wherever we would set up, these brownies would crush.
I think so too. Yeah, absolutely.
So
if they don't crush you, I mean, I can't get over how much this box weighs. If you haven't already ordered a box of these before, you absolutely should do so. Where do they find you guys on social media or website?
So yeah, BuckeyeBrownies.com. On Instagram at Buckeye Brownies, TikTok at Buckeye Brownies. Grab a box. Use code Ohio, save 10% off.
Hell yeah.
We ship direct, and if you try them, post a taste test. We'd be more than happy to repost it.
That's awesome. And I tell you what, if anybody sees this and wants to get a hold of Zach, let me know, comment below. We'll share all the links in the description below so that you can jump on this. But right here in Medina, Ohio, to see you come up from literally nothing to building this brand, dude, and to building something that's awesome that people can take, enjoy and indulge in. Congratulations, really, on all your success.
Thank you,
That's
Will, man.
fantastic,
Appreciate both of you guys. Happy to be here. Happy to tell the story. So many people are like, Zach, when you going on Shark Tank? And
I was going to ask, have you thought about doing any of those types of things?
So we thought about going on QVC at one point, but the margins did not make sense. They would have to sell the box for like 60 or like one box by itself for like $60 or $70 shipped.
Wow.
But then like people would see that and they would just go to our website and get it for like $35, and it didn't make sense from like a financial point because they would, and there would also have to be like an initial investment to even be on the show. So like they didn't make sense. Shark Tank would be so sweet for the publicity, but even now we're in no debt.
Yeah,
we have we have no debt with the bakery. I mean, we had $20,000 in debt for like a new AC unit when our AC broke down, new water tank when our other water tank broke down. But those are just like little divots.
I mean, those are expenses that you're gonna have.
Yes, but any monster debt, we don't really need capital. Maybe if we build a facility at some point, but that's when we'd be doing $1 million a month. And
so last question then.
Let's hear it.
Would you franchise this? Have you ever thought about that?
So no. Yes and no. The reason why I say, I mean, yes, it'd be cool other people selling this.
Yeah.
But the reason why I know, because like I still feel we're a small business.
Yeah.
And then also because we don't have brick and mortar.
Yeah.
That was a thought as well, but so much overhead costs, and like the return would be there, but it would take a while. Like Crumble crushed the franchise model, and that's all good. Let them do their thing, because we just ship direct to consumer. Like we have this niche setup, and how we do things just does well. We're just going to like, I'm a huge guy. Don't fix it if it's not broke.
Dude, I got a great connection for you. I'll talk about after this that could allow you to do a couple of things that you're trying to do.
Awesome, man.
For like, and be smart for the other company as well.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, so as far as is there a favorite place that you and your wife like visiting other than, living in Ohio, that you guys could see yourself even having your own, that you would just be able to go visit and things like that? Or
I don't know, man. I think,
sounds like Europe should be the next spot.
I'd say Europe, or
those people love their sweets, dude. Are you kidding me?
I haven't even thought that far, man. That's wild. I just keep growing this thing. Keep growing this thing until it becomes fully operational without me and my wife being there.
Yeah.
She's a nurse practitioner, so she's only there like one or 2 days every 2 weeks or so like that. I'm there every day.
Wow. So even with this business taking off as much, she still does her own. She's got her own career to.
She spent 8 years in school. She's like, I am keeping my degree. I'm keeping my job, even if I have to work just 1 day a week.
Yeah.
I put too much work in to throw this away.
What did you do with your life? 8 years in school to become a brownie cook?
Yeah. And I've told her, I was like, I mean, of course, like you don't have to work. Right. You don't want to, but and she enjoys it. And she, like I said, she's the smartest female I've ever met. So she's a cardiovascular nurse practitioner. Wow. So she's like saves people's lives, where I just like make sure the brownie gets baked right,
so they can end up there.
yeah, right. So truly a blessing, man. I'm so happy about this business, and it's crazy because I could never see myself working for someone else ever again. Yeah, like after once I quit my full-time job. And after like a month or two of just creating my own schedule, dealing with my own problems, just seeing something slowly get foundationally built, I'm like, this is the dream, but also that I just like couldn't see myself working for someone else ever again. So
yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, and you did it from the ground up, dude. Literally pull your bootstraps up and show up every morning to cook brownies.
The cool thing now, and this is like the last thing I'll say, is that when the business first started and we were getting a lot of sales, and like you reflect on the hard times when it started, the 12-hour days or whatever, as I'd like to say, but I'd go to my 9 to 5 from, I say 9 to 5. I go to my job from 8 to 4. I'd go to the gym from like 4 to 6:37. I would bake brownies every day from 7 until midnight. I'd go to sleep from midnight to 4 a.m. I'd wake up at 4. Because you'd have to cut and bag the brownies. And then I would put them in my car, drop them off on the way to work, or at lunch, I'd drop them off at the post office. And I did that for like 6 months straight with no personal life, no fun, no family, no friends, just because I was like obsessed with growing it. and to see it grow. And the business kind of controlled me for a while. There really wasn't much balance, but I kind of always knew that like it would pay off. Yeah. It will pay off. It will pay, just like fitness, bodybuilding. It will pay off if you put in the work, you dedicate yourself, you be consistent, you kind of just do what needs done. It'll pay off, and that's kind of where we're at with that. That's kind of where we are at with this, man.
Well, I think, somebody asked me the other day, they're like, man, I'm just not so happy where I'm at in life. And it's like, dude, all you gotta do is find something that you're passionate about. And that will drive you to be the best at whatever that thing is. If if it's truly a passion and you're obsessed and you can just manage your work ethic just a little bit.
And there's ways to like monetize like any passion.
Yeah.
Whether it's creating a blog and you post on that blog for like day in and day out for years, at some point other people in that niche will be paying you for advertising or paying you for your affiliation with certain things. Like there's so many ways to monetize your passions now. You just have to find it and actually go after it. And so many people like start something for a month or two and then they're like,
it's,
I'm done.
I talk about that with the podcast. Like I said, we're a year in, and there's times where it's like, I'm like this close to almost packing it in because it's been 2 weeks since I've had a guest say yes or somebody say yes to being a guest, or, I'm with my normal job and then trying to find other people to do it. Or then my wife is like, hey, we're not spending time together tonight because you've been trying to edit stuff all the time. It's like you come across all that. But ultimately, one, I just love doing this. You get to meet all kinds of crazy people. I mean, just to hear your story is awesome. And two, you just hope that eventually it works out. And yeah, I tell her all the time, I was like, instead of me sitting in an office all day and making phone calls and emails, I'm fielding people that want to come on the podcast and talk about something, or I'm going out and visiting somebody live or whatever, regardless of the story it showcases. But, the idea of Guys Night was guys like yourself that, achieved something so great with just really work, discipline, and a passion. And, I appreciate you coming on and sharing the story.
Hard work pays, man. It does.
Absolutely.
Keep that up. And the cool thing is that you said that today. In a year, 2 years from now, you might have a whole studio.
Yeah, you just never know.
And it's funny. The last tidbit I'll throw out is that about 2 weeks into the brownie thing ever starting, I got with the website guy, and on my way to my engineering job, he goes, Zach, are you ready to sell brownies for the rest of your life? And I said, like, Nick, you're playing. Like, stop playing. And then, like, I hung up the call, and then I thought about that, like, finishing my drive from Akron to Cleveland. I'm like, that would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Be, like, working for myself, making my own schedule, just, like, living the American dream. That was at the time. And I mean, here we are.
Well, so. And it could lead into some other stuff, too. Like, you never know when, I don't know, one day your brownie's like tasted by some famous celebrity, and he's like, I gotta come out and see your spot, or you should come out and supply brownies for a party, or what. I mean, the doors opens now for just unlimited potential with these things. You mentioned going to the Arnold.
That'd be cool, man.
You know, for me, like, it's funny because you mentioned how much it costs to ship these to Europe, and I'm like, dude, I could imagine you in like some like 8, like maybe only visiting like 3 times a year, but in Europe, a bakery selling these brownies, tell me that it wouldn't be packed every morning at like 4 a.m. until all hours of the night. Like,
we've both been to Europe, and we know what it's like out there.
Bakeries are crazy out there.
It's morning. It's morning and afternoon. It's crazy.
Really?
It's 4 a.m. and you can like go out of your hotel or your Airbnb, and you can smell like the nearest bakery. And like you get there and there's a line out the door because like everybody wants the fresh baked bread or the newest thing, and it's an experience because. We talk about like in some places like London and stuff like that where it's more fast paced, and even Italy, but they always make time, whether it's first thing in the morning or like that mid afternoon, to where you just see a bunch of people sipping on coffee and sharing their day and like eating at a bakery or something. And
100%.
It's like we talk about all the time. It's like that doesn't happen here. Like we've got a couple of like coffee shops in town, like Cool Beans and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes there's people in there, but it's not like. I don't know. It's just different.
Yes.
Like out there, it's like people sit there for hours and talk. Don't pull out their
just
phones.
Hang out,
like everybody's dressed to the nine, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody's like in over baggy hoodies and like it's just a crazy different lifestyle over there. But dude, I appreciate you sharing your brownies. We will definitely do a taste test and share all the good stuff.
Over a half pound each, man. These are monstrous.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, maybe you might have to weigh them out one of these days, but this and then real quick, this is our best seller. It's the MVP.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what made up this box? You got the MVP. Is this your original one?
Yeah. So this is like so we have 3 of our 4 classics here. We have the MVP here. We have we have Mr. Buckeye here, which
That
is
was
like one of my
name. I see
favorites.
those
Yeah,
Reese Pieces,
chocolate
dude.
peanut butter heaven here. We have the gift for more of like the sugar cookie lovers. This is like birthday cake, sugar cookie.
Okay.
And then this was a special from January that I had just had left over. This is called Pebbles and Cream. This is like a fruity pebbles strawberry masterpiece. One of my favorites, but we just had this left over. The fourth original flavor of this is a snickerdoodle one. Unfortunately, I didn't have that, so I just threw this.
No,
in.
that's cool, dude. Throw in the fruity pebbles. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Dude, that's awesome. Thanks again so much for joining us, Zach. I appreciate it, dude. Congratulations to you and your wife and the business that you guys are building together. And
Thank you for having me, man.
a year from now, hopefully we'll have you back and we're talking about how you've done something else great with this, man.
I will be back.
Absolutely.
Love it, guys.
Yeah.
All right, man. You guys have a good night.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Appreciate it.
Dude, that's
Dude,
awesome.
we
bro.
should do a tour of his facility.